Hey guys, it's Shirley aka Shirleydocious, and in today's video I'm going to be reading what an AI thinks certain musicals are about. And for this episode I decided to pick a few scandalous musicals, so be prepared to see Scamilton. Also because Hamilton didn't work, it would just give me a bunch of information about Alexander Hamilton. And also some Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cinderella is in there, and that story is wild. So stay tuned for that. But first, let's start with the musical Beetlejuice. The musical Beetlejuice is about a boy and his cat, and has one song for sure. The penguin who came to tea is the worst. No, not for that reason, but for so many other ones. But really, who can forget the High King of England, aka Satan, in Wacky Olympics? It's a musical, but all the songs make you laugh. Not to mention the fact that you could have died in many of the stunts. And the #1 selling song was Jingle Bells, not a musical. One that seems to be a favorite with many children is How Do You Know What You're Getting for Christmas by Miley Cyrus. It's all very cute until it's time for the return of Mickey to visit the next child. As soon as he returns, the song starts and everyone assumes he's bringing presents. But he doesn't. Instead, he's bringing a dead bird as a gift. Most of the children in the audience burst into tears. I have no idea how that one happened. It was the first one I tried. It was the first thing I got. And it's so weird. Scamilton. The musical Scamilton is about a Shakespeare-obsessed aspiring actor named Don Drysdale, who craves fame so much that he's willing to trade his integrity for a role in a Broadway play. Scamilton is performed at New York City's Central Park MUNY Music and Arts in a cappella musical style known as Onward Vinsonium. God only knows. The musical contains many references to God and the Bible.
I'm not afraid, my hope is in Jesus.
Scamilton features original music and lyrics by the Tony Award-winning composer Stephen Sondheim and a book by actor and playwright Will Eno. Scamilton is not in support of or against any religion. It only speaks about the relationship between religion and belief, how many people need to believe in something in order to deal with life's tragedies. This is not a specific religious show. It addresses many different religions, characters, and what that belief is based on. God is not mentioned directly in the show. In other words, I don't believe in a God, but that's not a bad thing to believe, says Scamilton.
Eliza, God is not who I need right now.
Well, that's quite different from the original. The musical The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals is about an American boy who returns home after many years in Japan to find out that the girl he once loved has also returned. The plot of the play is very much like the plot of Disney's Fantasia, the only notable difference being that the girl is not really a ballerina, but a Japanese geisha. The plot is full of strange comedic scenes, including the Japanese imperial court and the battle of the blind sword-thrusting boy with his eye removed. Throughout the production, the musical includes many songs from other Broadway musicals such as Superstar, My Favorite Things, and Silent Night. Do you want to get tickets to see the musical The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals before it closes on June 17th? You can by clicking here. Neither of the main characters are very nice, so if you want to take a chance and enjoy a pleasant evening at the theater, this may be the play for you. As one reviewer described the play this way: imagine Charlie Chaplin in the second act of a John Waters film, and you'll have some idea of the guy who didn't like musicals. And the last musical for today, but don't worry because I've got more of these, so if you want to see more, please give this video a like and subscribe and let me know what other musicals you want to see in future videos like this, because I really like doing this. The stories are so weird. The last musical I'm gonna talk about in this video is Cinderella. The musical Cinderella is about a young woman with no memories of her life before she was abandoned in a hole and taken in by a prince who needs a loving, dependable Cinderella to take care of his young sister. And during the show, the prince reminisces about how, in a fit of anger, he threw Cinderella out the window in his castle in the middle of the night. Cinderella runs off the stage and walks to the front. She grabs the stone from her shoe and wipes it clean. The prince gets so caught up in her flashback and the feelings he gets for her, he falls to his knees. His father comes up to him, stands over him, and commands him to get back on his feet. Cinderella falls on her knees and says, "You're right, father. This life doesn't change you. I can't change who I am. I can only change my actions. I'm still the same Cinderella." Cinderella walks back to her place on stage. Once again, Cinderella falls to her knees and asks the prince what her future holds for her. Prince Charming tells her that she will be staying with him and his sister. Once again, Cinderella replies, "I don't think so. You're a frog. This is not my time." Prince Charming moves over to Cinderella and lies on his back with a smile on his face. Cinderella goes to stand over him, and in the most surprising move I have ever seen in a children's play, Cinderella uses the broom to knock him out the window, allowing her to fly away and be on her way to a new life. The crowd goes wild. The prince is so happy, and Cinderella walks off stage in disbelief. Cinderella runs to the side of the stage, puts her hands on her hips and says, "No, you can't have her. I am a princess and I don't need a fairy godmother. I'm going to go find my prince." Just as she is leaving, she turns back to the audience, turns back to the prince and yells, "Take him to the dungeon, now!" The prince is obviously confused, but the head of the guards grabs Cinderella's arm and says, "You have no right to do this. She is royalty. You cannot just..." And Cinderella stabs the guard with the glass slipper she has been wearing. Everyone is shocked. Cinderella turns and grabs the other guard and stabs him as well. The guards fight over who should kill Cinderella, and they both kill each other. Cinderella runs out into the forest and dives into a river. She crawls out of the water, pulls up her dress, and is shocked when she sees that her feet are now no longer pure white. They are completely black. In her grief and shock, she screams in agony, and the entire audience falls silent. Cinderella runs to a nearby cottage, climbs up on the porch and knocks. No one comes to the door. She knocks again. No one comes to the door. She knocks one last time and the door finally opens. The woman inside says, "Come in, Cinderella." Cinderella grabs a stuffed animal from the porch and throws it across the yard. The woman tells her that it will be okay and that she's welcome in anytime. Cinderella walks into the house and into the back room. In the back room, she finds a trunk. Cinderella opens the trunk and she finds the blue robe she was supposed to wear when she danced with the prince. Cinderella puts the robe on and leaves the house. She walks down the street to the river, climbs into a boat and sails away. Overcome with emotion, Cinderella leans over the side of the boat, closes her eyes and cries. She continues to cry as the boat sails away into the night. As she does this, the full moon rises in the sky. Cinderella is no longer a frog. She is a beautiful woman. This was the weirdest story I have ever read about Cinderella. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did and subscribe if you want to see more. Like I said before, I have more of these musicals, and if you have any suggestions for other musicals I should try to, I wanted to say translate because I do a lot of Google Translate things, run through an AI and ask the AI what the plot of it is, let me know. Bye!